Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we're going into Facebook lead generation campaign and how to set them up step by step in 2023 as a starting tutorial. Now, Facebook lead generation campaigns can be done a number of ways. One being you can use the forms in Facebook to capture and contact the lead, and the other is to send them to your website and then convert them through your website. Now, I recommend sending them to your website, then you have the data captured, the lead captured, as well as the user data, and they can see your brand, your case studies, whatever makes your business unique in your industry, because there's a lot of saturation, and who you are compared to others in that space. This is very important as people don't just sign up for any company nowadays, they want to sign up for brands, and that includes any service-based business. The key here with lead generation is looking at long term, especially if you're in the B2B space. Okay, a lot of you watching this will be starting digital marketing agencies or various services around that, and that's a very saturated niche. So you have to look at it very long term. Long term can be 2, 3, 4, 5 months beyond for a relationship. Now, if you're after clients, let's say in the lash business, that is different. Book calls using a book solution like Acuity or Schedule Once is exactly what you need. Excuse me. And just remember, again, if you're in the B2B space, expect the funnel to be longer, right? Okay, you're not just going to be able to just get leads straight away. You're going to have to do a lot of remarketing type of campaigns. If you're in, it's all dependent on what type of service-based industry that you're in to get the leads. You can get leads through any type of business model. It's just about the targeting, location, and the value of that client. If it's just a booking for, again, a lash business, it's going to be a lot easier than it is a call booking for a business owner that is looking to scale his or her business and invest $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 through retainers and paid ads, right? So really important that you understand that. And I'm going to show you now live how to set up that lead generation campaign and upload a basic creative and copy to. I'm just going to be uploading an image and putting some basic copy. Okay, this is to show you how I would do it. Not everyone will do it this way, which is fine, but this is how I do it and how I recommend it, right? We do this for our lead generation clients all around the world. Now, we got a lot of clients, let's say, that are in the waste disposal, they're in the lash sort of industry, as an example, gyms, just to name a few, and we use this same strategy and we just customize the creative and targeting per each. So I'm going to now go and I'm going to share my screen and show you how to do this live. 1, 2, 3. Hey guys, so now let's go into the live tutorial side of this on how to actually make a Facebook lead generation campaign. Now, most importantly, please make sure that you have a Facebook business manager and then create an ad account. You will also need a pixel. I will go through in other videos how to set up each of these as well. We're going to go through a business manager as well as an ad account, but I'm working on the basis in this video that you already have an ad account, a Facebook business manager, and a pixel, and you'll likely have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. If you want videos around how to set these up and recommended settings for each, please just comment that down below. But let's go into it anyway. Now I've got my test ad account. So this is all just testing for various things, for videos and tutorials like this. So if you feel free to ask any questions. Simply, once you're in the ad account in your business manager, all you want to do is you want to go and you simply choose leads. So you can choose, instant forms, messenger, conversions, calls. Now, instant forms is basically Facebook's forms. You want to go for conversions, okay? That means that you'll be going through sending them to your website and you'll be converting them through the website. It's the recommended approach because especially as I teach you more omni-channel marketing, you will very much see that. Now, look, you can give the campaign a name, okay? So I'm just going to call it Ricky Hayes Test Lead Generation Campaign. we don't need a category. You only need categories in leads if you're in specific categories. Let's say like at times finance as an example. You have to sort of choose that, or housing is one of the other ones. So, you know, we have a few clients in sort of the real estate industry, and that can be a thing. You don't want to do a split test in the beginning. Budget, obviously you leave that up to you. What I normally suggest is that I go the budget times by, so what would you be willing to spend over 30 days? Because these things take time to optimize, at minimum 30 days. So, you know, you might want to start at $20 a day. So if you look at that over 30 days, it's $600 a month. So try and think about what your monthly budget is and then divide that by 30 is sort of what I do. But generally, at minimum, you would want $20 a day to try and get some tangible results as you're sort of testing in the early stage. Every other setting you leave is okay. You want to go next. And we're going to call this ad set interest 1. All right. So again, we're not going to go instant forms. You can also go messenger, Instagram calls. Again, it depends on the business owner. Generally, as I said, I will go website because you get long term, it's the best for your business. And you want to choose an event. And you want to choose generally lead or schedule. Okay. Again, it sort of depends. You know, if you're sending them to like Acuity, schedule once, which are sort of scheduling things, you might want them to go schedule. Generally, you want lead. I find, you know, 9 out of 10 times we choose lead. We're not going to turn on dynamic creatives. If you want a video on dynamic creatives and how they work, please comment that down below. Dynamic creatives are basically something really important that I do want to go into in a future video. Basically, dynamic creatives allow you to run multiple creatives in one creative, and Facebook will dynamically use different versions of it to try and get better results. So it reduces saturation and tries to keep you having a more competitive edge. We do that for a lot of our clients, so I definitely recommend that. And if you're interested, as I said, just ask below. I just want to sort of see some feedback if you are interested, but I definitely recommend that. I'm going to leave the location targeting as default because this is all the training. So, you know, you just do it based on that. Now, in leads, especially if you're a physical business, you can go down and change by, let's say, Melbourne, which is where I'm from, area. Victoria, I don't know why. Oh, sorry, hold on. Melbourne, browse, read. I don't know why. Sorry, my apologies. Melbourne. I don't know why it's saying not a city. Anyway, let's put Sydney. That's good. That's what I was after. I don't know why I was doing that. And then you can choose proximity. Now, if you're a lead generation business that has a physical location, make sure that you understand your proximity. Some businesses might only want it within 10-kilometer radius, right? Okay, so or whatever that might translate to in miles if you're using that metric from where you're at. Again, you change the ages based on what you know. Generally, in lead generation as well, you know, you're looking at, especially if you're, let's say, doing B2B like what I do a lot of. Generally, it's minimum 25 and up. Generally, I actually find it's like 30 and up. 30 to sort of 55 range, more mature, usually have a bit more cash behind them and have an actual business that can actually support that and it's worth your time, right? Then targeting. So let's say we're doing, again, digital marketing. And if you're interested in learning more about how our digital marketing funnel works to try and get leads, just comment that down below. I'm always open to new videos as I'm trying to get more into this and I enjoy this a lot more. So you would go, let's say business, right? So we aim at a lot of e-commerce businesses, right? So you might put, where was it? Small business, okay? As an example would be one. Now I generally do one interest targeting per campaign now. That just seems to work better. Or I'll put e-commerce, okay? And what you want to do is, you know, put something like e-commerce retail, and Facebook will optimize around that. Okay, you don't obviously want to target agencies if you're trying to, you know, get clients. It depends on the type of client, but again, let's work on the basis of e-commerce clients. Again, I would put in, you know, small business owner. Okay, small business, business and finance. We can see it's quite a large, sizable industry here in just Australia alone, right? And we're just talking that just in Sydney, right? So, with that, you might want to intersect it, with the type of business it is as well, but we're just going to leave it at that for today. I always leave it as what they call Advantage Plus, is basically just all placements. Never really do manual placements, just simply because all placements works best for reduced saturation. Always make sure you have conversions. If you're starting as a new ad account, you won't have a cost per cost per result, basically. You build that over time, and I can teach you some calculations how you do that. So if you get 50 leads and your average order value is $20, right? So, that's $1,000. So that you've generated, if you get 50 leads and they're worth $20 each, that's $1,000. That's sort of how much you can use calculation to determine that as to how much, you're willing to spend per lead, right? So if every one of those leads makes you $20, that's how much you can spend to break even, right? But then you can factor in things like returning customers' lifetime value, okay? In lead generation, it requires a lot more manual analytics than it does sort of e-commerce related clients and business model as well. Anyway, so next, and this is where we're now creating the creative, right? So we're just going to call this Ricky Hayes lead generation creative. I'll be honest, I use templates to do this. Obviously for testing, we're not going to do that. You always want to choose a page. Okay, so we're just choosing mine in this case. Always strongly recommend integrate your Facebook page and Instagram. If you want me to show you how you do that on the back end, pulling in that information to optimize it so your business manager has the baselines, again, let me know, because a lot of people don't know how to do that. And yeah, it's a bit of a setup, but it's really important. It saves you a lot of time down the line and a headache. Now you can go collection, carousel, single image video. Most of the time you'll go single image video. That's what we're doing today. We're going to add an image. I'm just going to add this one. My past self looking all swaggerlicious. And always make sure, I didn't do it properly. So I should also say as well, obviously in an ideal world, you want to make sure your image is optimized for different placements, especially stories and reels now, or more so reels is so important. People look at reels a lot. Right column in B2B is important as well, because that shows up on desktop, which is really important too. All three of these are really important. But so if you can use a tool like Canva just to edit the image, it's really important. And again, always make sure, I apologize, didn't always turn on this. It just sort of helps apply some basic enhancements that Facebook does on your behalf to try and help optimize the creative. Right? Okay, just standard best practice. Now, the text you want to add can be, whatever. So again, if I'm trying to get lead generation, sick of bad agencies over promising and under delivering. And then you sort of go from there, right? Well, I've got news for you. That is 99% of the industry. However, we approach it differently, right? So anyway, so you see my point. When you're doing these types of things, always try and look at how you can differentiate yourself. That you want to throw stones at your enemies and say why you're so much better. I know, as running an agency myself, most agencies have a bad reputation. It's sort of the industry, and so I always try and use that to my advantage. As a headline, it's like book a call today for a free optimization lesson, right? So again, whenever you try and get leads, you always want to try and give them something free, right? Try and give them something free. Try and give them a free PDF, something that in your industry you can give them for free. And if you're not sure what that is, usually just give them a digital file of something that is value-based, because that gets them encouraged. If you're just after flat calls and stuff as well, obviously go down that path, but always, don't ever, when you're doing leads, ever try and have anything behind a paywall. It has to be something that someone can just opt into. So to have a demo with you, have a call, book a call, download some PDF, has to be free, because lead generation is all about value and long term. It's not all about straight sales. Optimize per person, always lean on. Now I generally change this to contact us, okay, is what I usually do. That just seems that that's the best call to action that I generally prefer. And then you send them to a website, right? So it doesn't matter what their website is in this case, dogs.com. Okay. You can also show your call extension. If you have a phone number, I recommend adding it. You do get some calls, and that is also recorded in the Facebook Ads Manager. And then you have your pixel. Make sure your pixel is enabled. In this case, I have it on by default. You don't really need offline events, but you can set it up. And URL parameters I won't get into, but that's basically UTM tracking. Then all you do is go publish, and then that's done, right? So if we go publish now, it should publish, and I'll just turn the ad off. I think I don't have my billing information added, so so it won't allow me because I haven't added my billing information. So once you've added your billing information and that anyway, that's pretty much how that works. So that's basically how you set up a lead generation campaign for Facebook ads in terms of a very basic setup as a starting point. I will make more videos on how you can optimize it more long term, and sort of how that looks from a client's perspective as well, because we do that for clients, and I'll sort of teach you the psychology. The good thing with lead generation is that once it's set up compared to e-commerce, a lot of it is set and forget, right? It's a lot of work still, but it's a lot more set forget compared to e-commerce. So that's just a little sort of pro tip. Hey guys, so that ends today's video. I hope this has been helpful with showing you how to do this, and I always like to show the theory, speak about it, discuss it, and then the practical side, so you actually have that practical side. So I hope that was really helpful, so you can easily implement that yourself. Now I wanted to say again, thank you very much for your time today and watching this tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Please let me know in the comments what you think, if there's any videos you want. I have a number of videos that I'm working on slowly. I plan to release one once a week. And please, obviously, if you do like this content, please give a like and subscribe. And as I said, ask any questions down below. I will be posting weekly around this time every single week, so please stay tuned as well. Also, weekly reels as well as value-based, that's more condensed as well. I will catch you in the next installment of this tutorial. Thank you very much. Take care. Goodbye.